best things that has been added to the game recently. It was a lot of fun. It made the game go so much faster.
Here's the deal with the golf board. Anybody can ride it. It's great. It's not just for young people, it's for people of all ages. In fact, the older demographic are huge users of the golf board because it's a lot of fun, it's easy to learn to do, and it makes the game so much faster.
It's all about, how much fun can you have? And, this is something that when we were younger, we used to take our skateboards and try to, get on the golf cart paths because it was the only place you could ride one and you usually get in trouble. Now you can actually rent one and go ride it.
My first time I saw the golf board ripping around and surfing around on the golf course, I thought it would be too much and it wasn't safe enough for me. But after riding on the golf board myself, I noticed and I realized that anyone and everyone can use the golf board.
My dad used it the other day. My dad's been a PGA pro for 40, 50 years now, and he really enjoyed it. He said he thought it would take away from the game, but he actually thought it added to it.
One of the difficulties that golf has gone through is just it takes so long to play golf. And the golf board allows you to speed the play up.
Absolutely. Now the PGA of America and, first tee, everyone's talking about, speed of play of golf, making the game a lot more fun, keeping it under 4 hours.
Pace of play is a huge issue in golf right now. It's one of the things that drives people away from the game and the golf course. Golf board answers that question. As a long-time speed golfer, it's one of the reasons I started playing. It's a lot more fun. I didn't have time for 5-hour rounds of golf. Golf board, you can play fast, have fun, play better.
Playing in a golf board allows you to play much faster. Myself as a golf professional, I like to read my putts, I like to take my time. And that usually makes a 4 or 5 hour round of golf. But being on a golf board, I can play in under 4 hours and get on to my next activity for the day.
And get an incredible leg workout. If you ride the board for 18 holes, you'll definitely feel your legs after that.
Different than walking, it's way better than riding in a cart. It allows you to get some exercise, some real exercise, and actually some exercise that'll help your golf game and your golf swing, all while playing at a much faster pace.
For Laird, though, which is the thing, I'm a horrible golfer, so when I do play golf, all I want to do is actually talk when I'm in the cart, because that's my big chance to have the drink. I'm just saying, now I'm out on my own.
Right.
You can see from the video why.
All those conversations, Laird, are those conversations still going to happen?
Well, yeah, it's just they're going to happen, but you're going to be riding alongside your friend, and you're going to actually be focused on the terrain. And not necessarily be thinking about how bad that last shot was. And we're finding that good players actually play a lot better. And it's just a better way to be on the course. And it's a way to get people that don't want to play. It's a way to get good players to play better. And it's a way to make talkers maybe talk less. You're trying to confuse your guy out there and make him play a worse game.
I was wondering why you had a surfer, and then I see the video.
Yeah.
And it's very obvious. It's very much a surfing move, right around the hips and the waist, etc. How much do these cost, and what kind of opportunity is this for you?
They cost about $6,500
each.
Each, yep, exactly. And we sell primarily to golf courses directly through a rep network here in North America of about 50 reps. And we think the market opportunity is somewhere, for this year at least, the market opportunity is somewhere in the $250 million range.
You're only selling in the U.S.?
To start with, yes. We're getting all of the infrastructure. We're starting.
They're crazy about golf in China.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we're putting all the infrastructure and the growth pieces in place here in the U.S. first, in North America, and then doing expansion in international later this year.
Laird, I got on a paddle board, and I realized how completely uncoordinated I actually am. I lost a pair of really expensive sunglasses because I fell head first into like a bunch of times. You don't need to have surfing skills to do this the first time. You can pick it up quicker than surfing, tell me.
Well, you're not on the water, first of all, so you're not going to lose your sunglasses. You might run them over, but no, there's a handlebar, and we've really brought this down to be real accessible for anyone with no board riding experience. So it's not about having to be an athlete to ride this. We're finding that a lot of people that have never been on a board, it's a great introduction to the feeling of riding a board, and I think it's something that everybody really enjoys. It's just a human nature kind of a thing that we like, this feeling of this motion.
I can imagine in a beautiful setting in Hawaii or something, that would be a great way to spend. And instead of spending 5 hours, maybe you spend, 2.5, 3 hours.
Hey.
Like you know what you're doing.
Very cool.
Easy.
Very cool.
It could revolutionize the way golfers move from hole to hole. But the jury is still out on the new golf board.
I just want to know from a guy that plays golf, you're in a cart right now. What's your thoughts on this?
My balance is bad enough with my golf swing. There's no way in hell I'm going on that.
But looks can be deceiving, and this newest form of golf transportation is easy to operate.
It's quite simple. Much like riding the little scooter at the grocery store, let's say, right? It's got some high and low speeds, 2 speeds. Moving is as simple as depressing the throttle and you start to move. The more you depress the throttle, the faster you go. Nailed it.
The concept for this innovative way to speed around the course came from big wave surfer Laird Hamilton and Bally's Total Fitness founder Don Wildman. It's battery operated and rolls you from tee to green at up to 9.5 miles per hour.
Some people sort of notice right away that it does help you with your balance. It does help you with your core strength. You are holding on to something, so you are activating your core and actually using it while you're riding. So it does have other benefits than just sitting in a golf cart and drinking a beer.
Nice shot, Jody. Besides bringing a sense of adventure to every golf course, the golf board can also add some surprising exercise while you're on the course doing your thing with your friends. But most importantly, it can also increase the pace of play, anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. So you get to enjoy your time on the course and at the same time, move on with the rest of the activities in your busy day.
I think it might even bring people into the game that might not necessarily want to play golf, but they're on the fence and all of a sudden say, hey, my buddies are doing this, I might want to try it and get involved in the game. And sometimes that's how you end up being a golfer for life.
Was basically co-founded by Don Wildman, who was the founder of Bally's Total Fitness, and Laird Hamilton, the legendary big wave surfer. Golf board was Don's way of getting Laird to play more golf. Golf wasn't an active enough sport for Laird. It wasn't involved physically. So they started out riding a one-wheel drive skateboard around the golf course on the cart paths. They said, hey, wouldn't this be cool if we could actually take it out onto the hills, onto the fairways? And being a one-wheel drive, they weren't able to do it, so Laird had some friends that were already developing an electric land board, and golf board came out of that. You'd steer it like you would a skateboard, a surfboard. You turn by shifting your weight side to side. This doesn't steer it here. Okay. You've got your forward and reverse, high and low speeds. So we'll start you out in low, in forward. Up here, this is your throttle. So nice and smooth on the throttle down, it takes off. It's electronic braking, so as soon as you let off that throttle, it's going to come to a complete stop. It goes from 10 miles an hour to 0 in about 26 feet. So hop on, and I'm actually going to show you how far you can really lean it. So the tipping point's there, and that's your tipping point on the other side. So biggest mistake most people make the first time they ride it is they don't turn it enough. Okay. So whatever you think you need to turn it about twice as much. So there's your throttle right there, nice and smooth down. Yeah. Good.
Yeah. And now when you're comfortable, you can turn it up into high speed. Again, nice and smooth with the throttle down.
How fast does it go in reverse?
In reverse, it'll do 10 miles an hour.
It'll go the same?
Yep, we always want to reverse it in low speed.
Okay.
So, yeah. But you can steer it in reverse. You can do like a 3-point turn.
I got to be honest, I had my doubts, but it is so easy to run and use. I like it. I really do. I like it. It's fun. I can see how it could be something different on the golf course, and the ease of usability is outstanding.
The first time we saw it was the 2014 PGA Merchandise Show. That's when we first saw it kind of create a little bit of buzz. Talked to our director of golf, Bob Sagani, about it. Then last year, or this past year, Todd Barlow came to visit us and talked a little bit about the golf board, and it kind of started the process rolling. The feedback from the membership has been off the charts, astronomical. The feedback ranged from hell yeah to we can't wait to try it, or of course there's always the other side of the coin where they weren't really interested, or they felt like they may have been too old for the board. But as far as the members themselves that have taken it in the first week, the age range is about 45 to 75.
Thing was great. I was a little apprehensive to get on it, even with my clubs attached to it, but it was pretty easy. It will take some time and some practice to use it, just like a bicycle, but it was fun. It does take away a little bit of the social aspect of the game, because I love riding with people and talking to them, and especially in our groups and stuff, but maybe a couple of us will be riding them together, and that'd be a lot of fun.